and welcome back to the Redneck Bladesmith. Right now I'm going to show you what happens and what these knives really start out as. This was going to be a marine kbar for a guy, commission order, but as you can probably see, you know, just the tip turns out is a bad thing. I don't know, I think I got it too hot. There was a bit of a warp, so I tried to correct it and it just snapped. But there's no way in hell I'd send something like this out to somebody, especially if it's going to somebody who's, you know, either ex-military or currently serving. It's a shame too, because this is looking to be a nice kbar. But what we're going to gain from this is I'm going to show you what these knives start out as. Well, originally it was this nice big chunk of coil spring. I cut a section off, straighten it out, and you want to have a very wide grip. I got smaller tongs, so I get a wide grip near the base. And then just take a 4-pound sled, just got a flat face and a rounding side. Now that I've got that smaller section hammered out, I've given myself a much easier place to hold the tongs. So, now we can go over the horn of the anvil and take the rounding side. The rounding side of the hammer and the horn combined with that spreads it just as much width-wise as you need. So this is only like 3/4 of an inch around, maybe an inch around. So in order to get the kbar like up to here, you gotta do some tricky hammer work, and you gotta be holding that angle a little bit when you're working your bevels in, stretch that material out without getting too thin. But it's only a dull red now, so we're back in the fire. I've actually got a pretty nice setup with this. The flames are shooting like a good 1.5 feet from the actual forge itself. I've got to have fire bricks containing it beside because there's no forge door on this, unfortunately, when I tried to order it. And a couple 100-pound tanks out of Lowe's. It cost me like $100 just so to fill them up every time, and that's like every couple months, maybe a bit less if you know, if it's winter time. And thanks to that heat that's, oh shit. Okay, we're good. And thanks to the heat that's cooking out from that, that was dull red before. It's already almost up to 14 temperature. I just got put it in there for a couple more seconds. Because when you start hammering on cold steel, you're essentially you're pushing cracks into the metal. And when you do that, you might as well just toss it over a cliff or use it as a paperweight. Because the second you start putting cracks into your metal, it might happen on the first swing, it might happen on the 100th swing, but it doesn't matter. If you're trying to do some work in the woods, or you're trying to skin an animal, or if you're my safety officer, you wanted a knife that could take out a bear, and you're trying to stab through a grizzly's heart, well, then you're just gonna die. By the way, Doug, why the hell would you want a knife for a bear? Just take an extra gun. I don't know how many times I told you this, but you still wanted it. Alright. So that's a good temperature. And since we're on the round stock again, we got a 10-pound sledge. spring steel is hard to move. Well, that's already at a 1/2 inch bar all the way around from a few swings with a 10-ton sledge. To those people, I just say you really should probably be taking steroids. Because, yeah, man, this is going to be a bit more of one of my longer videos. That was just to fill a bucket of water. There's no magic, sadly. Because I have had people asking me just how I do the process, like between just swinging a hammer wildly at a lump of metal. This will kind of give you a little inside peek as to how a knife can go from a chunk of leaf spring like this. You know, this crap is not, you know, thin. It takes a bit of hammer and muscle. And then it can transform into something like this. This is, yeah, how long is this? This will be an 18-inch, almost, yeah, it's like 18 or 19-inch machete. Well, I say machete, this is pretty much a small sword. I tell you what, if this coronavirus actually becomes serious, I'm probably going to get, you know, abducted into some militia or whatever to make them weapons. I don't know, I've seen Netflix shows like that. It doesn't always end badly. But pump it out a lot of heat. So anyways, that's what I was saying. Grab the inside of the hammer on the anvil. You want to make sure you're turning the steel back and forth. That makes it so you're not getting one thin spot, just drawing out one area continuously. Alright, take the smooth side and smooth it over. You want to try and keep it at this point level with your hip, because if you're turning it one way or the other, you're really just going to leave deep hammer marks in there. That'll be a bitch to grind out. And flip it over. And pick it up. Alright. So we're at dull red again. Not sure if you can see. Yeah, there we go. You can see a few divots and wrinkles, or waves rather. Wrinkles would be a bad thing. I'd have to grind those up because that can just cause a cold shut when the metal tries to overlap on itself, and it just won't weld together. So just having a few waves from the hammer blows being smoothed out, that's fine. But where did I put it? Here we go. You can see where I'm talking about for the width. We're pretty much there already. And we still got well over a 1/4 inch of material to play with. So this is going to be an example of forging to shape. Like the grinder, that's going to just be the finishing work. You know, there is a bit of an art to being able to, you know, forge it from a lump of steel into a knife. And I'll show you how to do that. Next step, I'm going to take. So very happy I'm wearing gloves. We're going to be taking. Let's try this again. We're going to be taking this tip, or the top of that, and driving it down at a 45-degree angle to create that clip point for the kbar knife. You know, other YouTubers make this look so easy. Normally there's like rock and roll music going in the background, but yeah, I'm really not not that tech savvy. You know, I'm going to be moving out to the middle of nowhere essentially in about a month and a half. Just got approved for